All right, guys, there's an important Penn State-Wisconsin matchup coming up here in just a few minutes at 12 o'clock on Fox. So I want to briefly go through some of the prospects we should keep an eye on in this game, starting off with Johann Dotson, wide receiver, senior from Penn State, averaged almost 100 yards per game last year in just 9 games, very good deep option, averaging over 17 yards per reception in both the past 2 seasons. He's stepping into pretty much a feature role in that offense. And obviously was highly featured in it last year already. There's a lot of people who really like him, like his speed, like his ability to get downfield and make big plays. So that's someone to keep an eye on. Also on offense, Rasheed Walker, the left tackle. Not going to be one of the premier left tackles in this draft class, but it's going to be up there, probably maybe a round 3 pick as of right now. Certainly a lot he can improve on, though, and he can definitely jump into that round 2 conversation with a little more polish. Transition to defense, Brandon Smith at linebacker. Everyone should know him by now. The linebacker group this year is very much up in the air. We're not really sure who the top linebacker is going to be come draft day. I know there's some thought, maybe guys from Georgia, maybe guys from Alabama, but Brandon Smith is going to be in that conversation and certainly stepping into a large role this year. Both corners for Penn State I'm keeping an eye on right now. Tariq Castro-Fields, who's a corner, had 2 interceptions, not this past year, but the year before that. He's banged up a little bit this past season. Just like a lot of other guys, though, with the COVID-19 year, you can kind of throw that year out. Go back to look at what he did in 2019, where he was very successful. Another one, Redshirt sophomore, Joey Porter Jr. I want to keep an eye on him. He's more of a tradesy player at this point than he's a productive player. But we've seen guys like that certainly go in the NFL draft and just have teams fall in love with them for their traits. So there's certainly something to keep an eye on there. And Joey Porter Jr., he could be looking at a big breakout season potentially. And Jaquan Brisker, safety, who's a senior for them, is one of the best safeties in all of college football and going to be one of the best safeties in a loaded draft class this coming year. So keep an eye on him as well. He's been a productive player for this team for 2 years at this point. Switching over to Wisconsin, really this is not a huge game when it comes to looking at NFL talent, but there's certainly some players we'll see get drafted. And from the Wisconsin side on the offense, Jake Ferguson from tight end is a tight end for them. Been consistent for the past couple of years. Not a ton of yardage this past season, but that's to be expected considering there were so few games. He's had over 1,100 receiving yards in his 3 years at Wisconsin. Always been a productive player for them. Just been one of the mainstays in that offense for this program. Some more guys to keep an eye on. Right tackle Logan Brus is a guy who, I'm not sure if I'm saying his last name right, by the way, but I think that's how to say the last name. He is going to be someone to keep an eye on. Right now, not fighting for a top spot, probably going to be a day 3 pick if he goes in the draft. But someone definitely to keep an eye on here if he can improve his stock over the course of the year. Matt Henningsen, the edge rusher for Wisconsin, another player you want to keep an eye on. So not a lot of offensive pieces to really watch for them. More so on the defensive side of the ball this year. He's someone I want to keep an eye on, along with nose tackle Keeanu Benton, who might not even play today. I know there have been some concerns. I think it was an ankle injury he's been dealing with. But he's still one of the best nose tackles in all of college football. And we saw a bunch of those guys, and guys like Lee McNeil, Tyler Shelvin, they drafted him in pretty decent spots this past year. So nose tackle is not going to be a position you can overlook this year. There's definitely going to be some guys in the draft, including guys like Jordan Davis from Georgia, who are going to get picked in the rounds 4 to 3 kind of range. And then 2 linebackers to close this game off that I want to keep an eye on. Senior linebacker Jack Sanborn is one guy I want to watch, and also junior linebacker Leo Chenal. Both players kind of fill up the stat sheet. You do a little bit of everything for their teams. These are not going to be guys in that top linebacker conversation along with Brandon Smith. They're not going to be in that range, but they're still going to be draftable players who are versatile, who have had productive seasons in the past. And these are players who really are going to anchor that second level of this Wisconsin defense. They have a decent defensive line, but the linebacking group for them right now is actually very strong. That's probably going to be the strength of this defense in terms of just their name brand recognition, in terms of what they have production-wise from this unit going forward. And again, this past year was not the best for some of these players. That's understandable. That's all of college football, really. So you have to maybe take a step back and look at the 2019 film, look at the 2019 tape to really understand the value they bring going into this coming season. Well, anyways, guys, that's about 10 or 11 players I would keep an eye on today in the Penn State-Wisconsin matchup. I'm going to upload this video real quick so we can get out before the game starts. See you all later.